Hey guys, this is Bots Obsession, and today I'm going to be ranking every Transformers toy line that I could think of, at least. Before we get into this, if you guys feel like supporting the channel, down in the description there is a link to our Discord and the new Bots Obsession Patreon, so if you want to support the channel, that's one way to do it. Moving on, real quick, getting that out of the way, the shamelessness. We're going to talk about what our tiers are in this. We have Take My Money, which is, this is the best of the best. You're going to buy everything from it. This has no duds. It is perfect. It is the best of the best. Then you have Store Exclusive, which is, it's good. You're going to buy most of it, but it doesn't have, it still isn't just like, it just doesn't quite hit that right. Then we have Standard Release. This is, you know, it has its hits and misses. You're going to pick up a couple things from this, few things from it. Clearance aisle is you maybe got one thing from it. It had like one good thing, and that was really it. And then dumpster is obviously just trash. Just nothing from this. It's not good. So we're going to do this in chronological order, starting obviously with Generation 1. And I know a lot of people are going to say, oh, it's a Take My Money. I'm going to put it in store exclusive. Because, yes, this is like the progenitor. This is the OG. I'm going to put it in store exclusive. I think it has a lot of good stuff. I love the Headmaster gimmicks. I love all the gimmicks from this. And the fact that, like, so much of what was G1 has continued into other stuff. Obviously, we wouldn't have all the others down here without this. But most of this is bricks. Most of these are bricks. And I'm not a fan of things you can't necessarily play with. And that's just me. That's like, I know that a lot of people grew up with this and that a lot of people love this. It's just me. I do appreciate what it did. And there are some G1 things that I think are really cool, such as Bruticus and the other Scramble City Combiners. But for the most part, I'm going to put it in store exclusive. Next up is G2. And I know a lot of people would probably say G2 is clearance. But here's the thing. I actually really like G2. Like, as far as the new stuff for G2 is, right? Like, I'm going to put it in standard. I'm going to throw it here for now. It might move. It might move. But I'm going to throw it in standard release because the Cyberjets are really good. The laser cycles, I feel, are really good. The laser rods are pretty good. The repaints are some of the better figures from Generation 1. And then you also have, like, Laser Optimus, who's really cool, and some of the other larger figures. Like Dreadwing is really good from this. There's a lot of good stuff from this, but it's mostly the new molds that were good for this. And yeah, they're gaudy colors, but honestly, it kind of grew on me. So I'm going to put G2 in standard. I'm going to put G2 in standard. Beast Wars. This is... Oh man, is Beast Wars a Take My Money? No, Beast Wars isn't Take My Money. I'm going to tell you guys right now, I am not a huge fan of Beast Wars. Now, this is encompassing Transmetal 2, Beast Wars 2, Beast Wars Neo. It's encompassing all of that. So the question, I'm going to put it in store exclusive. There's a lot of really good stuff from Beast Wars. There's a lot of really good engineering. You have the kind of pseudo flip changers from... You have the pseudo... flip changers from that were kind of carried over, like Rat Trap and what's his name, the Pterodactyl. You know what, I'm actually gonna move this down because I don't think here's the thing, I don't think the beasts when they just turn into normal animals are that interesting. I don't think they're that interesting when they just turn into normal animals. Machine Wars. This is a very small toy line. Hang on, I'm going to throw it here. Hang on, just to put it here. This is a very interesting one because it's like 16 figures, I think. So you had Sandstorm, Optimus Prime. Sandstorm, Optimus Prime, Hoist, Hubcap, Prowl, Mirage. Oh, am I forgetting anyone? And then Megatron, Megaplex, Starscream, Soundwave, Thundercracker, and Skywarp. So it's 12. It's 12 figures, and a lot of them were Euro imports, and then they were G2 molds that didn't get used. And oh man, I actually really like all the flip changers. I'm gonna put it I'm gonna put it in store exclusive, much like it actually was. I'm gonna put Machine Wars up here. Machine Wars really was something else. I think it's pretty good. I know it's a little dated compared to Beast Wars, but I think at the time this worked. These two things worked. Beast Machines, however, I'm gonna throw in the dumpster. I do not care for most of the Beast Machine stuff. I don't care for their aesthetics. I know that it has some good stuff. I know that it has some decent representations of its characters, but I think Beast Machines is just a bad toy line in general. There's not a lot from this that I find appealing. Now, Robots in Disguise, however, has so much stuff. It has a lot of stuff from Beast Wars. It has a lot of stuff from Generation 1. It has stuff from Beast Wars 2 in it. Robots in Disguise 01 is pretty difficult to nail down. It has a lot of G2 stuff in it too. I'm gonna put it in standard now. I'm gonna put it above these because I do think this is a better one, but it had a lot of exclusives and a lot of really weird repaints and a lot of reused molds. But the new molds are really good. Oh yeah, the new molds, man. I forgot about like Landfill and Rail Racer in them, and Optimus and Magnus. Man, those were great. And the Megatron from the and Scourge. I'm gonna put it above Machine Wars. I'm gonna put it above Generation 1. I'm gonna put it above Generation 1 for now. It might be a take my money. Alternators, and by this I mean like Alternators, Binaltech. What's the other one? Alternators, Binaltech, and Alternity? Is that it? There's a few that roll up in here. I'm going to put this in clearance aisle because this is a very weird one. So there's stuff from this that is really good, and then there's stuff from this that is bad. I think it executes what it wants to do extremely well, and I think there's some really cool figures from this, like those like Mazda Optimus Prime Star Saber guys. Those are awesome, but I'm going to put it in clearance because like this is one of those ones where it's like, you maybe get 2 of these. Like, for me, this is one that I'd only get 2 of because they're not MPs. They're not, like, classics or generations or anything. They're just very strange. Transformers Armada. Now, this is about when I would have been really young and starting. Like, this is what would have been on the shelf when I was, like, young. It's like this and Energon. And, man, oh, man. I'm going to put Armada at the top. And I know that I said I didn't like G1 because of all the bricks. I'm going to put Armada at the top of standard release because it's really good. I do like Armada a lot. Transformers Universe. This might move up. This might go up. When we get done with this, this might go up. Armada might move. Universe. This is Universe. So this is all the repaint figures. So this is like repaints from Beast Wars and Transmetals and G2 and even some G1 stuff. I'm going to put it in clearance because I think Universe wasn't that great. There are some really cool repaints in this, and I like the idea of Transformers Universe, but I think overall Universe was not nearly as good as Classics or 2.0. So I'm going to put it here because there is good stuff in it. I don't think it deserves to be in the dumpster, but it's definitely one that you got to want it. Another one that I'm going to put in clearance, and I'm going to put it below, because I think this is right. I think Alternators goes above Universe. I think Alternators are cooler than some of the stuff from Universe. I'm going to put Energon as well in clearance, because Energon is just there's not a lot of good stuff from this. It has Strong Arm, Energon Strong Arm, and the other Omnicons I actually think are really cool, but Energon Optimus is really, really ugly. That it just sucks. I don't like Energon Megatron either, and there's just not a lot from this. I mean, Energon Scorponok is kind of cool, but he also got released in Cybertron, and I know that probably makes him an Energon toy, but like there's a lot of back and forth because I know Energon, Armada, and Cybertron all share a lot of molds, but I think Energon in total, like for the new stuff, this is pretty weak. I know I've also been talking about like repaints and stuff for the other toy lines, so I guess saying that it doesn't get a factor in its repaints, but the new stuff is what drags this down. Transformers Cybertron. I'm gonna put Cybertron and take my money. real talk, Transformers Cybertron is one of the best Transformers toy lines. This is actually a really, really cool one. There's so much love about this. You have Primus and the Cyber Key gimmick with a really cool collectible. And then you have all the planetary leaders that have special cyber keys. Cybertron Optimus is really cool and can combine with the Lion guy. The articulation on these figures is way better than like Armada and Energon. The articulation on this line just shot up. You have cool stuff like Downshift, and the Cybertron Starscream came in 2 sizes. Cybertron Metroplex, oh my god. Override is really cool. There's so much stuff from this line that I remember. Like, I remember so vividly a ton of stuff from Transformers Cybertron. Short Round even. And then like all the good stuff from Armada and Energon got repaints to be part of Cybertron. So yeah, Cybertron definitely is a take my money. 100% is a take my money. This is classics. This is classic. I'm going to put classics in take my money. You know what? Transformers Classics gave us a lot of really good stuff. And this isn't this is classics. And that's including like Generation, by the way, this is including like Reveal the Shield and early Generation stuff. So like up to when like the Prime Wars trilogy starts. That's what this is taking up. So this has Reveal the Shield and all that stuff in it. Or not Reveal the Shield. It doesn't have Reveal the Shield in it because Reveal the Shield's down here. But it has a lot of other stuff in it. It has a ton of stuff in here, like Thrilling 30 and a few other things that I feel get enveloped into the Classics banner. It's that early Generation stuff. I love Classics. It has that Starscream mold, and it has a whole bunch of other really cool stuff, like stuff that holds up still today. Like I on my shelf right now is Prowl, Mirage, and Hound, and Bumblebee. I forgot there's a Bumblebee over there that's also on my main shelf now from Classics. So there's a lot of stuff from this line that holds up. I think even the Wheelie from this wave from Classics holds up, and then Chromia's on another shelf of mine down there too. So yeah, tons of stuff from this that hold up. The first Transformers movie toy line. This is an incredible toy line. Is it better than RID 01? I think so. RID, some of the stuff, hang on, whoa, hold up now. I forgot the movies are on here because I forgot I put them on here. Oh, there's another one that I see. But yeah, the first movie sold like hotcakes. This stuff they couldn't keep in stock. And it had so many cool things. The Allspark Power figures, where they took vehicles from the movie and just made them into characters for the toy line. Like the tow truck that hauls Bumblebee got a toy. The Sector 7 truck got a toy. There's so many cool stuff. There's so many cool things. Not so many cool stuff. What the heck am I talking about? There's so much cool stuff in this toy line, and they ended up using it in other movie toy lines, and I think even a couple things in Generations or in Classics, or Reveal the Shield or whatever. And it's just an insane toy line. This is such a good toy line. Top of take my money is Transformers Animated. The fact they got so much character out of those molds, and the fact that they made those molds so show accurate while still transforming into show accurate things. There was witchcraft going on with this toy line. Like, this is such a fantastic, like, oh my god, Animated is still goated. Like, the stuff from Animated holds up even today. It's from around 2007, 2006. So like, it is a little dated, but a lot of that stuff still holds up. Leader Bulkhead with the Headmaster gimmick. You had Ultra Magnus with lights and sounds. Optimus Prime with a little bit of Automorph. Prowl. Ratchet was really cool. Megatron, the Leader Megatron. Dude, Voyager Starscream kind of sucked. But I still had one. And then Shockwave, the Shockwave figure, and Blitzwing. The only thing you could really complain about is that Lugnut wasn't a leader. Like, this thing, like, and then Lockdown being as big as he was too. There's so much stuff from Transformers Animated that's like still so good. The Dinobots that you could get, man. Like, yeah, Transformers Animated, easily take my money. Easily. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is another super goated toy line. This had so much cool stuff in it. The Hunt for the Decepticons and the Scout classes from this one. I'm going to put it below Cybertron. Actually, I'm going to put it below Animated. I actually think this right here, Revenge of the Fallen and Animated right here, this is prime time for like Transformers. I feel. This is like when it was going on. This is supposed to be Reveal the Shield. Reveal the Shield is a pretty interesting one. I'm going to put it in standard because there's really only two things from this that I think you absolutely needed at the time, and that was Perceptor, and who turns into that half-track truck, and then who is it? It's Perceptor and Jazz. This might also be where Wheeljack / Tracks comes from, but they also might be classics. So take that how you will. But yeah, I feel like the only two things you really needed from this was Jazz and Jazz. I just said his name. Jazz and Perceptor. Sorry, Jazz and Perceptor. And then like it had a lot of really cool repaints of classics and Generations figures in this. But specifically that Bumblebee, the Bumblebee from this is also really, really nice. That with the black stripes. That one is Classics B with black stripes. That's the one I have on my shelf. But yeah, so there's some good stuff from this. There's some hits. A lot of the stuff I think you could miss though, as long as you had like some other stuff from Classics. Power Core Combiners. I did a video on these. I did a whole like recap video on Power Core Combiners, and I'm going to put them in the clearance. They are really cool. My nostalgia for them has died down since I picked them up. They basically just sit on my shelf and don't do anything. They are really cool. I think they had a lot of potential for like third-party upgrade kits, and it is really unfortunate that we never got those third-party upgrade kits. Also, like I picked Huffer just because Huffer is like the best one from that line. You could get one Power Core set, and you know how the entire gimmick works. And if you're gonna get a Power Core set, I recommend the Destron one. I just think that one's the best one. But yeah, this is one where you 100% could get like two things, and you're like, oh, okay, that's it. And I'm content with like the two 5-packs and the 1 2-pack I have. So yeah, clearance aisle. I like them. I do like them. I don't think they're dumpster fire worthy, but they are clearance aisle. Sadly, I just don't think it's that great overall. The gimmick wears out on you, and especially since there's only so many drones. Transformers Dark of the Moon. So this is about when I stopped collecting, was when Dark of the Moon came out. I wasn't really picking up new stuff at this time. And yeah, so I don't really know where to put this. I know it has some cool stuff in it. I know it has some interesting repaints and some new molds. I'm going to put it below Reveal the Shield and Standard. And that's just because like I feel like this might be a pretty standard little release right here. So that's what I'm going to do. It feels like a standard release. There's not a lot of things that I know about this one, but I'm going to put it here. Transformers Prime, I'm going to put it store exclusive. I'm going to put it above Machine Wars, but below G1. I think the Transformers Prime stuff is really cool. The first editions, the Viacon in this is so good. The Megatron, the Voyager Megatron, the Voyager Optimus, the RC mold is really, really good. Cliff Jumpers mold is really good from this too. There's a lot of great stuff from this. I don't personally have anything from Transformers Prime. I'm trying to think, do I? I have Generations Chromia, who's based on the RC mold, but I don't think I have anything explicitly from Transformers Prime. And I mean, it's a great toy line. I mean, but there's a lot of really cool stuff I wish I was collecting at this time, because there's a lot of really cool stuff that I wish I had from this, and it's so expensive on the aftermarket that it's not even worth it to get. But yeah, Transformers Prime, definitely a good one. Definitely a good one. Transformers 4's toy line. I know Nitro Zeus is in it. No, this isn't Nitro Zeus, is it? This is the other one. No, this is Nitro Zeus. Yeah. No, Nitro Zeus is the 5th one. Nitro Zeus is the 5th one. Man. I was right. Nitro Zeus is in the 5th one. There's nothing from... Oh, there's those cool... The Dinobots actually were really cool. The really colorful ones. Those were pretty cool. Again, this is from like when I wasn't collecting. I'm gonna put it above. I'm gonna put it at the top of clearance. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna put it at the top of clearance. Below alternators. Below alternators. I think alternators is better than this. But there's not a lot that I know about this, and the stuff that I do know about it is like the gimmicky toys and stuff from this, and there's not a lot of like mainline stuff from this that I think of and think is good. So clearance aisle. Transformers 5, which I believe is all Studio Series stuff. Correct me if I'm wrong. It's like all Studio Series stuff and then gimmick things. This is another. I'm gonna be real with you guys. Like, the only thing putting this above Transformers 4 is the Nitro Zeus. There's not a lot from the 5th movie that I think is cool. It's 100% just not great in my opinion. The toy line itself is kind of mid, and I don't have Bumblebee down here. I didn't know if Bumblebee got a toy line, especially since all the Studio Series stuff has been coming out like now. So, but yeah, clearance aisle for that one. Robots in Disguise 2015. I'm gonna yuck it in the dumpster fire. There's some cool warrior classes. I have one figure from this. I am gonna put it above Beast Machines though, because even the dumpster has some tiers. I have one figure from this, and it is the repaint of Warrior Class Grimlock. And I think that is a cool figure. I think that's a decent little Grimlock figure. But the rest of the stuff, I feel like it's not very great. There's nothing from this line that immediately jumps out at me or like feels like it's not a gimmick figure. So yeah, I'm gonna throw it in the dumpster just because like I could care less about this. Also, I don't care for any of the designs aside from like Strong Arm. Strong Arm's pretty good in this, but yeah. Rescue Bots. So my cousin, she loves Rescue Bots, and so by association, I've picked her up a few Rescue Bots things, and they're fun. They're basically just little 2-step changer guys, and they're neat. They're fine. I'm going to put them at the bottom of standard. If you're into them, they're just neat little 2-step changer things. They are 100% meant for kids, but they are neat little things. And if you're looking for like an Optimus Prime that transforms and like you can just slam it on the table and it turns into a truck, there's one in here. So there you go. Rescue Bots, bottom of standard, and that feels right for it. Transformers Combiner Wars. This one is interesting because Combiner Wars has a lot of reused molds, like a lot of reused molds, but it was the first time we saw Scramble City Combiners since Energon. Which, first of all, hang on. That's just because the Combiners are in here. Hang on. We're gonna put Energon below alternators, only because I just now remembered there was the Combiners in those, and I love those Energon Combiners. But they're also in Revenge of the Fallen in better color schemes. So back down it goes. I forgot Bruticus and Superion got the good colors right there. And then Classics gave us the Devastator in the correct colors too. So never mind, Energon stays down there. But yeah, it was the first time we'd see Scramble City combining since Energon, and man, this is a tough one because on one hand, that's really cool, and we got a lot of really good characters, and we got most of everyone from G1 in this line. Like even Skyling's got a new toy, and yeah, like the Prime Wars. If you really look back on it, we got a lot of stuff for Prime Wars. But Combiner Wars, I'm gonna put it at the top of standard. That's where that feels right. Only because there was so much reusage and whatnot. And I know that Laserfire is a Combiner Wars figure, so like I can't be too rough on it. I love that figure too. I love the Combiner Wars molds I have, but I also only have one of like each Combiner Wars mold, so I'm not like completely burnt out on them. Then these are out of order. Then we have Titan's Return. Titan's Return 100% is a take my money. Not top of take my money. It's above Cybertron, below Revenge of the Fallen. Titan's Return is so good. You have Overlord and Six Shot and what's his name? Sky Shadow. You have Blur, which is that Blur mold's amazing. So Brainstorm, Chrome Dome, all the headmasters. Any character that was a headmaster came back for this, and then some characters who weren't headmasters are in this as well, and they're really good. You got the monster bots from this set. You had so much cool stuff from Titan's Return. Titan's Return is easily like the highlight of the Power of the Prime or of the Prime Wars trilogy. Titan's Return is the best one, and a lot of the molds from that still hold up. And you even got most of the Headmaster Juniors. You got all 3 Decepticon ones, and then you got Siren as Loudmouth, Nightbeat as Nightbeat, and then we didn't get a Minerva or a Hosehead, which kind of sucked. But like, they're like, man. And then you got like Apeface got a tiny Headmaster, and then he showed up later in War for Cybertron, which was kind of cool. So you like, I don't know. Anyway, Titans Return, yeah, goated, super goated. Power of the Primes, I feel is a clearance aisle. Like, Dreadwing is cool. Who is it? Battle Trap is cool. But a lot of these is just more repaints. The Dinobots were really weak. Predaking was kind of a crappy Titan. Man, there's Punch Counterpunch was cool. Punch Counterpunch is a great mold from this line. I'm gonna put it at the top of clearance. That feels right for it, because this is I just feel like this is not a very good. But you'll see that, I mean, Combiner Wars top of standard, because Combiner Wars is good. I will say it is good. It's cool. There's a lot of characters from this. Power of the Primes, it felt... Abominus is pretty neat. It just felt like there wasn't a lot in this. You know, it just felt like there was too little in this to make it worthwhile. Rise of the Beast should be down here. What the heck? Now we come to the War for Cybertron trilogy. That's represented by Siege here. Siege is pretty good, but it's kind of undermined in its entirety by Earthrise. And then Kingdom was also really good. Kingdom gave us a lot of really good stuff. Like, that Cheetor mold is really good. The Air Razor mold is great. Galvatron's mold is really good. Cyclonus is fantastic. Who else was in this? That's just Kingdom. And then you had the Earthrise Prime, which is like a mini MP10. The Ultra Magnus mold is a little iffy, but hey, it's all right. Rodimus, Skylynx, and Jetfire as commanders. I think all 3 of those commanders are fairly solid. Who are the Titans from this? Omega Supreme, Scorponok, and the Ark. So again, you have one dud in the Titans. I think it was Titan Omega Supreme is one of my favorite Titans, and Scorponok is also just an amazing Titan. Two out of 3 Titans are fantastic out of this toy line. And then... oh man, Earthrise Hoist is really good. Earthrise Cliffjumper is really good. The Earthrise and Siege Seekers are really good. That Megatron, the Netflix stuff, I want to put it at the top. The War for Cybertron stuff, and this also completed a lot of stuff. Like, a lot of the things that weren't quite finished from Titan's Return and Power of the Primes Combiner Wars, a lot of stuff that wasn't cleaned up, like, because we also got Flywheels to go with your Battle Trap. You got Apeface and Snapdragon to go with your Headmasters, as well as Scorponok to go with Fort Max and whatnot. So there was a lot of stuff in this that finished out collections, or like sets. So yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That feels right. Oh, and then we also got the first Transforming Quintesson, and yeah, most of my collection is War for Cybertron. And I didn't put Studio Series 86 down here. I am a fake Transformers fan. Damn. Then we have Legacy, represented here by Legacy and Legacy Evolution. This, again, is really, really good. I think it has more misses. I'm going to put it above Combiner Wars because it has more cool stuff. I think Legacy has more misses than it does hits in terms of, like... in terms of character choice. I think it has some really cool characters. I think it's awesome we're getting a core class Volcanicus. I think it's amazing we've gotten a Metal Hawk at mass retail, a Twin Cast at mass retail. The Stunticon redo is really, really cool so far. There's some really cool stuff in Legacy, but yeah, I'm gonna say it's standard. There's not the Armada stuff is really cool. I'm picking stuff up from it, so you know. And then the Walmart exclusive Scourge and the Velocitron stuff I got a ton of. I got Cosmos, Scourge, and Override, and Hauler. He was on clearance, so I got him. And then I got Toxitron on pre-order. So there's a lot of stuff from this. Same with Beachcomber. They're doing Beachcomber now. That's really cool. There's a lot of cool stuff that they're doing with Legacy. Lastly, we have Rise of the Beast, the new Rise of the Beast stuff, which, as far as a movie toy line goes, I actually do quite like it. I think it's a pretty good toy line. I'm going to put it below Combiner Wars. I think Combiner Wars is a little cooler because like it has a line-wide gimmick. But this is a pretty good one. I'll say the Rise of the Beast stuff, and I know we haven't seen everything from the Rise of the Beast toy line. We've probably seen most of it at this point, but I'm going to put it right there. And let's kind of go through this real quick. As far as let's see if there's anything that can move up to take my money. Robots in Disguise can stay there. I actually think Robots in Disguise, I'm going to move it above I'm going to move it above G2 just because it has a cooler. I'm going to move Armada. Ooh, man. I'm going to move Armada in between Robots in Disguise and G2. I think that these are all fairly standard. Does Reveal the Shield really deserve to be there? It only has a couple good. Yeah, I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put it in clearance. I'm going to put it above. I'll put it right there. I'm going to put it right there. Because if I had the choice between like an alternator or like a Reveal the Shield figure, I don't know. And I think actually, because here's the thing, I also don't really like alternators all that much. I'm gonna put alternators down here. So I'm just not a fan of that style of Transformer. So I'm gonna put it down there. Yeah, that's fine. Both of those are fine. Everything in store exclusive is good. Everything in Take My Money is good. Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's the tier list. And yeah, I clearly forgot a couple things, such as Studio Series and Studio Series 86. I honestly think if I did have it, Studio Series and 86 would be in the Take My Money. I've bought everything from. It's the only line that I have like everything from, aside from like a couple figures. I think the only thing I'm really missing is Cliff Jumper. And then I'm gonna skip the new 2-pack with Prowl and Ironhide, but I have everything from Studio Series 86. And then probably normal Studio Series would go in standard just because I don't collect movie Baver stuff or movie figures in general. So just go in standard release. I know those figures are good, but I don't think that they're for me. But yeah, that's my Transformers tier list. Let me know what you guys thought in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. This has been Bots Obsession.